Hey, how's it going, everybody? And welcome to another exciting episode of Channel X, the only show on Thursdays that starts the weekend early. I am your host, Tom Dog 247, and as always, I'm Tom Dog all day and Tom Dog all night. Ooh, baby, all right. So, we got a special episode today. Um we are doing an entire we're taking this time to acknowledge MeTv Toons. We're gonna be I'm gonna be giving my full in-depth review of the network. I'm going to be and we're gonna have a lot of fun. So this episode is going to be dedicated entirely about MeTv Toons. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna review the network, how and everything, and we have a double dose of the Channel X top five. Um, five of my favorite shows that I grew up watching. That are on the network. And also um top five shows that I think would be perfect on the network. Um, in the very near future. Um, and there's there's other talks coming up as well too. And so yeah, we're gonna get right into it. And before we do though, we have to do what we always do each and every week, and that is give our shout outs and plugs and everything like that. So, yeah, we gotta do that. So um big shout out to the Dorkening Podcast Network, Leo and the gang. Um, we have, have they have tons of awesome shows on there, and you definitely will love each one. Um, my personal favorite, of course, is the splash pages, and they talk about pretty much everything that has to do about comic books, and the various guests that they have on there are also um very informative and everything like that. And it's an it's a wonderful show, and you don't need to take my word for it. Check it out yourself on the Dorkening Podcast Network over on YouTube. You can see them live and in person, and you can also check out wherever you can listen to your favorite podcast if you missed the live show. So yeah, definitely worth checking out. Also, the Owl Light Network. Shout out to Carrie and Raz and everybody over on there. They're doing such an amazing work on some awesome shows, and you cannot miss any of the shows and everything like that. They're awesome. I enjoy watching them. I pop up and every sometimes too, and hang on with them for a while. Awesome group that I love hanging out with. And so check them out over at the Owl Light Network on YouTube, and you will love it just as much as I do. And also, while you're at it, check out Melly Playful and Tengu. If you like watching people play video games, then Melly Playful and Tengu are the ones for you. Check them out over on YouTube, and you can watch your favorite video games played by two of the most awesome game players. And you'll love every moment of it. They always have a good time, and definitely worth checking out. So that's Melly Playful and Tengu. Already I'm yawning. I don't know why. I'm not supposed to yawn. I'm forbidden to yawn. But yeah, check them out. Check out Melly Playful and Tengu over on YouTube. You'll be glad you did. And this episode is brought to you by M&J Video Games and Collectibles. Trade in your old video games and consoles, and even accessories and systems, and all that good stuff. And if you also have some some Pokemon cards and some other collectible cards and everything like that. They'll take good care of you. Pop vinyls, they'll take good care of you. Autographed items, actors, wrestling, sports, um, they'll take good care of you. Any other autographed wrestling memorabilia or anything like that, they'll take good care of you. So yeah, check them out. If you happen to be in the Southington, Connecticut area and you want to check out this amazing store, check them out over um, on their website for directions on how to get there, as well as list of events they got going on. And that website is mnjvideogames.com. You'll be glad you did. Also, Hardcore Sweet Bakery. Haven't given them a shout out in a long time. But yeah, sometimes I have that sweet tooth, and you have that sweet tooth too. If you happen to be in the Southington, Connecticut area, after you go and check out the M&J Video Games and Collectibles, head on over and treat yourself to spoil yourself for a snack over at Hardcore Sweet Bakery and items that they have over there. Check them out over on their website at hardcoresweetbakery.com. Also, if you're thirsty, you want a nice little pick me up, go over to Purgatory for some ice, for some iced coffees or some iced refreshers and everything like that. They're awesome. Really, really awesome. Purgatory.com. And BoomTube Comics. I haven't given them a shout out in a long time either. So yeah, big shout out to them as well too. They got some really cool comics and everything like that. And if you happen, and again, you happen to be in the Southington, Connecticut area, want to check out this amazing store, BoomTubeComics.com is your place to go. And this episode is also brought to you by Dubby Energy. And what is Dubby Energy? It's an energy supplement that has zero crashes, zero sugars, zero artificial flavors, zero dyes, none of that crap that you see in all the other so-called energy supplements. It's all natural ingredients, and you'll love it just as much as I do. Check it out over at w.gg right now. Use the promo code Brill at the checkout and save 10% on your purchase. You can do that right now while you're watching this. And yeah, you'll definitely like it just as much as I do. And so check it out over at w.gg right now. Again, use that promo code Brill at the checkout and save 10% on your purchase. That is awesome. That's an awesome deal, man. That's an awesome deal. Save 10%, and it's really, really cool. It's really awesome. Their drink. They have some cool swag too. They have some really cool stuff there. Not just some wonderful energy supplements, but also some nifty swag. So yeah, I gotta pick me up some of that swag. I gotta get those vinyl stickers that they have there. Yeah, I'm a cheap bastard. That's okay. We're having fun here. I mean, we ought to. I want to give a quick before we get just a couple of things I want to get off my chest before we get things started here. Got a couple things to talk about before we get the show started. Next week we gotta talk about next week. I know I'll remind everybody again at the end of the show, but I got to get this out of the way. Next week is the 1st of August, and the first Thursday of August is a tradition here on not just on this show, but also on Wrestling Prime and for this channel in general, and that is the Tom Dog Days of Summer. We're bringing that back, 2024. We're gonna have a lot of fun with that. It's the Tom Dog Days of Summer. We're gonna have a blast with this one because this is going to be really, really cool. This is going to be really cool. We're gonna have a lot of fun with this one. Next week, um, being the 1st of August, we we're actually going to have a little the regular show, but also we're going to be we're going to celebrate my birthday early. I decided we're every first Thursday of on Channel X, is the first start of we're going to start my birthday early. My birthday's on the 3rd, but that falls on Wrestling Prime, and that's going to be on Wrestling Prime, and I got a review of SummerSlam to do. So yeah. Plus, also we're going to have a classic review as well too. The first one of the classic SummerSlams that was in also August 3rd, and so yeah, which is when Steve Austin fought Owen Hart. So yeah, we're gonna talk. It's one of my personal favorite SummerSlams. So yeah, so I'm gonna review that as well too, but mostly we're gonna review the SummerSlam premium live event next week on Wrestling Prime. So we'll take a little break from the AEW stuff, but we're going to talk about AEW this weekend. So yeah, but well, enough about wrestling. But that's the lineup that we're going with and everything. So we're going to have an early birthday special on next week. Still going to have some cool topics to talk about as well, but mostly overall we're going to have a really good time. I never know who's going to show up. I'm hearing that Mojo's going to show up again because it's lately become a thing with him where he has to roast me for my birthday. So yeah, um, we got a little bit of a birthday roast that he has to give me. So yeah, so yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun with that. We're gonna have a lot of fun with that. And so I don't know what he's going to say this year because I don't know. I just hope he doesn't run out of material. So I mean, he has lots of material to work with. So yeah. So there's plenty of things that he can roast me on purpose. so so yeah. Um yeah, I'm knocking on wood. So yeah, that's the lineup. We also got some really cool stuff. Another cool thing that I'm going to be posting on the Tom Dog Days of Summer. Don't know when in August I'm going to do it, but I'm going to. I got something special lined up because over the weekend I hit 200 subscribers. Now, if you remember the last time when I reached 100 subscribers, I did a little something cool where I did the Who's Tommy challenge. Um, so I plan on doing something. I haven't debated on what I'm going to do. As far as my 200. Um, so yeah, this is really cool. Um, you know, spread the word and everything like that. Let's make it. Let's go to another 100 so I can do something special with that one as well too. So yeah, I finally reached 200, and this is really awesome. Um, so yeah, I haven't decided what I'm going to do for my 200th Tom Dog Plays special. Um, I don't know if I'm going to redo do another Who's Tommy challenge. I don't know, or I just might, don't know yet. I really don't know. But there's so many options to do. There's so many options to do, and yeah, it's one of those things that I can work with and everything. And I think that this will be really really cool. And we're gonna have a lot of excuse me. We're gonna have a lot of fun with this. So yeah, make sure you're following my Twitter at TomDog247 because you never know what I'm going to be popping up on there and talk about what I'm going to do. Also, or I just might say something on TikTok, um, or just in a mini video or anything like that. So yeah, just really quick too. Um, the second part of the Deadpool pizza um review um is coming. It's coming. I'm actually gonna do something tomorrow because since the movie's out in theaters and everything, um I'm gonna finish finish it with the Gimme Chimmy and review and see how that um and see how I like it. So yeah, I'm gonna be consuming that tomorrow. So yeah. So yeah, that's in the works. So I'm gonna be uploading that. I'm gonna be doing that review tomorrow. So yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun with that in honor of the Deadpool and Wolverine coming in theaters tomorrow. So yeah, it's gonna be really cool. Um, or at midnight tonight, whichever you want to prefer. I know there's like a late night showing of it today, and so there may not be a lot of people on here today. So I figured, why not? You know, that doesn't mean you can't watch this at another time. That's okay. But we're gonna have a lot of fun, as I said, in the Tom Dog Days of Summer coming starting next Thursday. So we're gonna have a lot of fun with that, and yeah, we got a lot of plans coming up and everything, and yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun overall. And you get to see that little nifty graphic that I put that little cheap uh graphic that I put up last year. Wish I can animate that. I don't have the right ribbon. So so yeah, T-Mobile. I gotta shout those guys out. This past week, for T-Mobile subscribers, they have this little thing that they do every Tuesday, and you get like a little free T-Mobile themed item. Um, get like it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's like a like a tote bag or an umbrella, um, a baseball cap, um, they also had sunglasses earlier this year because they had the eclipse in April. Um, they gave out sunglasses with the the eclipse sunglasses. They're awesome. They really are. I gotta get contacts so I can wear them more often. Not the eclipse blinders, but but yeah. But also they have some other cool stuff um as well too, and it's really cool. It really is cool. I love it. It's really neat, and so yeah. Um, so yeah, I got a lot of cool stuff through them. It's really cool. But this one really was also interesting. And I never expected this to. This is a thing. A pickleball racket and a pickleball. Now, I don't know. I mean, I've heard of pickleball. I don't know how to play it. It sounds interesting. It really does. And for some reason, a little scuff mark. That's okay. Yeah. But nonetheless, it's really cool. It really, I think it's really cool that they actually gone and did something like this. It's actually really neat. And the racket feels good. It has a nice little grip onto it and everything. But I never really expected this to be that that big. So pickleball is a really huge thing, and they actually have instructions here, which I want to take the opportunity to read. This is real, folks. So this racket is for recreational use only, not for tournament play. Clean your racket after every use with the soft cloth to remove any dirt or debris. Avoid using harsh chemicals or abrasive material that could damage the surface of the racket. Store your racket in a dry, cool place away from direct sunlight and extreme temperatures. It's important to use your racket with care and avoid damaging it. If you use excessive force, you could damage the surface of the racket or the handle. Use your racket only for its intended purpose. So that means I can't bend over and have somebody smack me in the ass with it. That old man there, and he's like, that's paddling. See, I have no brain cells. I can just break this over my head. But I'm not going to. Sorry. I already got something planned for the 200th, and I just use up what little brain cells I have left. So, yeah. I heard a crunch, and it wasn't from my head. I use excessive force. Use the force. Use the force, Luke. Use it, you shower. Okay, enough tomfoolery. Let's get the show on the road here. MeTv Toons. I downloaded an app which I highly recommend, and it's the friendly app, FRNDLY, the friendly app. It's a really cool app. I really love this app. Um, Not only does it have MeTv Tunes, but it also has some other stuff as well too, and other channels as well too. And it has some really cool channels on there. Um, Pretty much all the channels pretty virtually some of the channels that I already have on my on cable, anyways. But yeah, this is real. But yeah, it's a really cool streaming service, and it's live television. And what makes this unique, the friendly app, which I highly recommend that you download, is that this app if you miss any of the shows, if you miss any of your favorite shows, they have an option where you can record them and you can go back and watch them, and not just one channel. I mean, and not just one episode. You can download, you can record an entire season. That's awesome. That's awesome. So you can go back and watch it at your convenience. So I pretty much recorded some shows that I miss, because if I'm in bed or I'm running out running an errand, I can watch it later. And but yeah, this is a really cool app. And so because that's the only way that I can watch MeTv Toons without having to buy an antenna converter. So yeah, I mean, granted, it would be cheaper. It will be cheaper, and I can watch it through the antenna format. But I really don't want to go through that trouble to do that. And but yeah, I mean, eventually later on I will, um, when I get the money. But nonetheless, it is a really cool thing, and I absolutely love it. But I highly recommend that you download that friendly app, and for a good price for all the channels that they have on there, it's definitely worth the price you pay for. And so yeah, you're getting live broadcasting and everything. So yeah, it is really really cool, and I love it. I really do. Um, so so what's going on as far as um um oops, just giving out the thing here. So it's run by a guy by the name of um Neil Saban. He um he runs the net he runs the network, and it's run by it's a Weagle Broadcasting it's a Weagle Broadcasting company, and it's in partnership with Warner Brothers Discovery. And it launched on June 25th, and it's a secondary channel to MeTv Toons, and um has all animated broadcasting animated shows that were produced by Warner Brothers, Hanna-Barbera, tons of Hanna-Barbera stuff. Um, Paramount Pictures, Metro Golden, MGA, MJM, I should say, Universal, um, UPA, which is licensed from Warner Brothers Discovery, uh, NBC Universal, and Sony Pictures, um, and some other ones that are dating from um, the 20th century to the mid 2000s. Um, so this was really um, um, a huge thing, and how this channel came about was unique um because the original channel, MeTv, they sometimes, at various times, they show some cartoons, mostly in the morning, and they show a little bit more frequently in the on the weekends. They have like a huge block on Saturday morning, and and then on weekdays they have um a little show called Tune In With Me, and it has like a tuna um named Toonie, and so yeah, so it's really cool, and so yeah, they have some really cool stuff on there, and apparently they've had a marathon of the pilot episodes of all the shows. So yeah, well yeah, that's pretty cool. And so yeah, they really have a lot of some really cool stuff. Um, and some of the stuff that they have in between the show, the stuff in between, um, during the when they go to commercial break, they have little segments in between, Cartoon College, MeTV Tunes, Tune, uh, MeTV Tunes, Tune, and Quick Shticks. So basically, so Cartoon College is basically some history of the cartoons, and and they acknowledge some of the writers and everything like that. A little bit of, and they have like a little bit of you know, some trivia as well too. And so yeah, it's a really cool thing. MeTV Tunes Tune is basically just some stuff that they did with the whenever they had like a musicals moment in the show. So yeah, really cool. And Quick Shticks, which is basically just clips of some funny moments from your favorite cartoons. They have you know Two Stupid Dogs and Super Secret Squirrel. That was on the Cartoon Network. Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle. Uh, Alf, the animated series, and Alf Tales. Um, the the Adamant and the Secret Squirrel Show, which is the original cartoons of Secret Squirrel. Beetlejuice, Bugs Bunny and Friends, Captain Planet and the Planeteers, Captain Scarlet, and the Mysterions, and various others. Um, Even Inspector Gadget, Mr. T, Police Academy, the series, uh, GoBots, Real Ghostbusters, and Speed Racer. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff, and yeah, there's and they broke it down into some blocks as well too. Um, Cartoon All Stars, basically just some regular cartoons that varies. Um, that's not on the original, spot. Sunday Night Cartoon All Stars is the same is the same thing, and No Strings Attached. It's basically all the Super Marionation programs, which is basically just they're marionettes, and which was um, the more famous one. And that one is, of course, Thunderbirds. Not really familiar with that, but I am familiar of its premise. Totally animated 80s. Um, it's basically all the cartoons from the 1980s, which is my personal favorite. Um, so yeah, they have a nice little list of their Police Academy, um, Real Ghostbusters, GoBots, Ed Grimley, and Mr. T. Flintstones Family Sunday is basically um, a collection of movies and the Flintstone movie specials and spin-off series from the Flintstones franchise, and they launched it. Um, and I'm kind of blaming myself for this one because I should have gotten this app a long time ago. At the beginning, and it was Jetsons Meet the Flintstones and the Man Called Flintstone. That was their launch, and of course the Scooby Doo Sunday specials, um, which also varies of the movies. Um, the movies, there's like tons of movie specials. I don't know if the direct to DVD ones will go on there. I'm pretty sure they will. So there's like tons of Scooby Doo's content on there, and it's actually really cool. Um, and of course the spin-off series of the Scooby Doo franchise. So I really hope I can't wait until they do the 13 Ghosts of Scooby Doo. That's my personal favorite. I love that show. Um, uh, so um, as from what we know, from what we know, there actually is going to be a panel. I think there's going to be a panel at San Diego Comic-Con. And of course we're going to be talking about San Diego, everything about San Diego Comic-Con. And so yeah, we're going to be talking about that. So we may we may extend that one and do a special on that one as well too. Um I haven't debated yet. I haven't debated. I know I'll do one with Terrificon. So that'll be cool. Um so some upcoming program some upcoming shows that have been announced but haven't been confirmed on the date. They might announce the dates of these shows on at the San Diego Comic Con. um, the list of shows that were mentioned is Courageous Cat and Minute Mouse, Dastardly and Muttley and Their Flying Machines, Frankenstein Jr. and the Impossibles, uh, the Hanna-Barbera new cartoon series, which I really don't know what that is, and I don't have time to click on it. The Huckleberry Hound Show, Loop De Loop, Magilla Gorilla, which is also cool. The Yogi Bear Show, and one of my personal favorites that I grew up watching when I was a kid, the Super Friends. And yes, I can actually do the narration voice. Funny story about the Super Friends. I can do the narrator's voice. And I once had a pet fish that I named Nemo, but it was a beta fish. I should have named him Master. Uh, but anywho, but no, it was a beta fish. I named him Nemo, and he was really cute. And so one day, I'm just just checking him out and everything like that, seeing just hanging, pretty much spending some time feeding him and everything. So he had gave him his food and everything, and he was just everything was going swimmingly. And so he's just chilling out there, and then all of a sudden I broke into this narration voice, and I was like, using his telepathic powers, Tom Dog summons his good friend Nemo. So I'm like this, and I go, boop, 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 and I did that. All of a sudden, he starts coming towards me. It was one of the most cutest things of all time. I told you that story to tell you this one. Went to Bob's Furniture not too long ago because I was I was helping my mother pick out a chair for her, and I was finding a nice chair for my mom because she's having a hard time getting up and everything like that. So she needs something more with more stability. So while I'm waiting for some service, they had this little koi pond in the middle of the in the lobby of the store. So I'm hanging out by the fish, by the fish and everything like that. And I didn't do the boop, 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 boop and everything. I didn't need to. For some strange reason, all the koi that was swimming in that pond decided to come towards me and just hang out with me while I'm just sitting right there at the edge, just saying, just hanging out and just standing right there in front of the thing. All this koi, all the koi comes out of nowhere. Like there could be a koi at the other side of the little koi pond, and they can be coming right over towards me and just hanging out with and just saying, it's like, what are you doing? So yeah, I'm a live action Aquaman. I don't know how that is, but if I go swimming, I'm afraid that a shark may come after me. So 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 yeah. So as of right now, those are the shows that are in the works of coming into the show. Super Friends has been confirmed. But the dates of those premieres have not been um confirmed yet. So oh, okay. All right, so I decided to click on the Hanna-Barbera new cartoon series, and it's basically just some shorts from Wally Gator, Touche Turtle, and Dum Dum, and Lippy the Lion and Hardy Har Har. They have some other ones too. So yeah, it's so yeah, they have a really cool list of char- of characters, and so yeah, really cool stuff, man. For some reason my fingers are just like really. Oh yeah. So yeah, I think it's really cool. Um, So yeah, Neil Saban put because of the popularity of the car, they actually had some pretty good ratings on MeTv. So and they were getting good ratings on the Nielsen's, and throwing in these old cartoons and everything like that. So they decided, to come up with this, and it's a blessing. It really is, because a lot of these cartoon channels now, they hardly show them. I mean, I know Boomerang, still does the 24-hour cartoons and everything like that. But yeah, they have some really cool stuff, and and yeah, it's really really cool, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And so yeah, that is my review. I'm done. But no. I highly, if you haven't downloaded it, download the Friendly app. I strongly recommend that you do. Um, it's worth the price that you pay for, because not only can you watch MeTV Tunes, but you can also watch a lot of other shows too, and they also have the Game Show Network on there too, which is one of my favorites. Aside from watching cartoons 24/7, I like watching game shows 24/7. Um, so yeah, it's pretty cool. It really is really really cool, and so yeah, definitely um give it a look see, and really really check it out, man. Check this MeTV Tunes out, because they have a lot of cartoons on there. Um, some you haven't seen in a long time, some that you even haven't uh, heard that existed. There's a show on there that I actually watched the other day. It was Wait Till Your Father Gets Home, and it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy, and it's a little more adult oriented, and it stars Tom Bosley. It's actually really cool. Um, it's basically just like like pretty much a kid's version of All in the Family and Family Guy and Simpson, and Simpsons and everything like that. So yeah, it's a more it's pretty crazy though, and came out in 1972. And but yeah, it's a really pretty interesting show, and it was done by Hanna Barbera. So yeah, that was awesome. So give that a look. See, it's on Sunday nights, late at night. So now that we got that out of the way, um, let us do our top five. I'm not going to do the top five. No, I'm not going to do that. But I am going to do um two different top fives. It's basically my pick for on this one. I'm going to do the top five shows that I love. That I love. Um, um, whatever you have. If you've seen MeTV Tunes and you see your favorites on them, let them in the comments. I would love to hear your favorites and everything. So yeah. This was basically a nostalgic trip for me, because I grew up with a lot of these cartoons. Um, some that I've seen the first time, but some of the cartoons I watched because my parents watched them. So it's pretty cool that I that they were showing me these cartoons and everything. I've seen Tom and Jerry, thanks to my parents, and I've seen Bugs Bunny. Man, who hasn't seen Bugs Bunny? And speaking of Bugs Bunny, I almost forgot to mention this. This Saturday, there's a marathon. There's a Bugs Bunny marathon this weekend in honor of his birthday. So so yeah, they got a huge marathon uh for Bugs Bunny. It's Bugs Bunny's birthday bash, and not not to be confused with Bugs Bunny's birthday blowout for the NES. But anyway, um, but yeah, it's basically celebrating Bugs Bunny's birthday and everything, and I think he's 95. I think he's 95 this year. I don't know, but actually, that's a good question. Bugs Bunny, 1930s Wikipedia. Let's see, 1938. So he is 86 years old. Um, so yeah, 1938. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Little known fact about Bugs Bunny. So he is 86 years old. I'll be darned. Oh, from the carry stock. That is my cheap Bugs Bunny voice. By the way, my cold's been clearing up. So, anywho, so challenge up. Oh boy, I almost started with the list. So basically, so we're gonna start off the list of my top five favorite shows that I grew up watching, um whether it's through my parents um or in my generation. So and got some I have some honorable mentions, of course. Police Academy. Police Academy series is not on this list, but it's an honorable mention. Beetlejuice is not on this list as well too. Um, um, the Mask, that's also on there, and the two Alf shows. Those, even though those are my favorites, honorable mentions and everything, um, is basically, you know, some some really cool stuff on here. So yeah, there's tons of honorable mentions, and I didn't include um like Bugs Bunny and Friends, and the Woody Woodpecker Show, and everything, because those have some other shorts in there as well, and um but yeah, but know that I like watching them. So yeah, um nothing against those. It's just that it's basically series and everything like that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Um, so here we go, starting with number five, Challenge of the GoBots. Now, I put that on number 5 because, this is the closest thing you're ever going to get to seeing Transformers on this network, because I highly doubt that they're ever going to put Transformers on here. That would be cool if they did, but I just think that, I grew up with the GoBots just as much as I did with the Transformers, and with the GoBots, I like them, and it was, you know, and this was Hanna-Barbera's answer to the Transformers, so it was a nice little competition, and I thought it was actually really cool. Um, and I have a soft spot for them, and Hanna-Barbera did some really cool stuff, and did some pretty cool shows. And Challenge of the GoBots was actually a challenge. So yeah. Number 4, the Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle and Friends. Um, so yeah, I wasn't. This show was not in my generation, but I have grew up watching them, and I actually like Rocky and Bullwinkle, and I'm actually glad that it's on the show there. Number 3, Real Ghostbusters. The Real Ghostbusters. I love the Ghostbusters. I love the Real Ghostbusters. It's really cool, and it's basically a spin-off, to the original movies, and pretty much picked off where it left off. So it's right in that timeline, and the animation of that was actually really cool. They did have some scary images. I was like, ooh. Number 2, Freakazoid. I love Freakazoid, and I'm glad it's on it. I'm glad it's on there. Um, I you know I was born. I was born in '78. I was raised in the '80s, '90s. I started. I was graduating high. Going into high school. Graduating high school in '97, and so yeah, this came out. This was you know had a little bit of an edge to it, but that kind of humor I loved, and so yeah, Freakazoid is one of my favorites. So I think it's really cool. And at number 1, Speed Racer. Um, it wasn't my first introduction to Japanese animation, but it certainly was my second. And when my father showed me that cartoon, I loved it. And so yeah, it was actually really cool. And so yeah, those are my top 5 favorite shows that you can see on MeTv Toons right now. And now I'm going to switch gears a little bit and do my pick for the top five shows, animated shows that I think would be good, a good addition to MeTv Toons. And I think that this would be really cool. And I do have some honorable mentions as well. A lot of honorable mentions. One of them being Gumby. It's claymation, and it was awesome. I grew up watching Gumby. Gumby definitely would be a good fit on MeTv Toons. Also, um, Astro Boy. Astro Boy is it was an old Japanese anime cartoon um around the same time as um Speed Racer, maybe even earlier. So I enjoyed watching those shows as well too. Um, Also, Gigantor. Gigantor would be cool. Beanie and Cecil. The original Beanie and Cecil, not um the '90s um remake. Not that one. Not saying that it was bad, but the person behind it, we don't talk about him anymore. Um, the old Mighty Mouse cartoons as well too would be a good fit. Not the new ones. Again, we know why. Um, just just Google Mighty Mouse and Beanie and Cecil. Um, Spin-offs, reboots, and you'll see why. Um, but the original ones are actually a lot better. Just saying. Was one other one. There was one other one. Oh yeah, Muppet Babies. Muppet Babies. The original one, not that CGI garbage that you would see that they have on Disney Plus, but the original Muppet Babies. Because I seriously doubt that Muppet Baby, that the one that was in the '80s, would ever show up on Disney Plus because they got to get the rights because there's some live action scenes. So yeah, they got to get the rights to that. They don't have them. Same. But MeTv too may have something up their sleeve. So yeah, that'll be pretty cool. And there's some others too. Um, oh yeah, some of the some of the cartoons that were done by Filmation. Uh, for example, He-Man, She-Ra, Brave Star, maybe even Ghostbusters. There's a Ghostbusters in Filmation Ghostbusters, um, which was based on an original show by that starred Larry Storch. So yeah, and this one had an ape named Tracy. It was actually pretty cool. You know, despite it had, and also too, a Filmation also did Star Trek the animated series as well too. So yeah, it would be really cool to see on there too. Why not? Um, so yeah. Um, so yeah, I might be cheating on some of these as well too. So let's get started with the top 5 shows I think would be a good addition to MeTV Tunes. Starting with number 5, Heathcliff, one of my favorite shows. Um, they already have Inspector Gadget on there, and it's done by the same people who did um Inspector Gadget. Actually, it's also Deke Entertainment. So yeah, DIC, and so yeah, it's done by the same production company too. So yeah, it's a Deke Entertainment production, and one of Mel Blancs's final final things before his passing. So yeah, because he voiced Heathcliff, and so yeah, it'll be a good tribute to that as well too. And that show is really awesome. So, yeah. Um, Speaking of Deke Entertainment, another show that was pretty successful on there, that was on syndication that I remember, Dennis the Menace. That's at number 4 on my list. Dennis the Menace. Is basically the animation is based off of the comic strip, so it's so yeah, it was actually pretty cool. And believe it or not, that was actually my introduction to Dennis the Menace, was the comic strip. So yeah, it was actually pretty cool. Um, Number 3, Extreme Ghostbusters. This is the sequel to the real Ghostbusters, and it'll be a good fit. It'll be a really cool fit, and the animation in that was actually really awesome too. So yeah, I don't see why they wouldn't put that on there. I think it would be really really cool. Coming in at number 2, I'm kind of cheating on this one. It's pretty much all the video game cartoons that came out in the 80s, and they had a lot of video game cartoons, not just Super Mario Brothers Super Show, which I don't know if they have they can acquire the rights to. Um, I forgot who promotes those, but but it would be a really cool fit, and they can really do something with that, and have Legend of Zelda on the Friday. They can do Monday through Friday, and with the Legend of Zelda cartoons on Friday. They can really do something with that. I don't see why they wouldn't do that. I think that'll be a really cool fit. But also too, Captain N the Game Master. It was a pretty popular cartoon in the 80s, and it has the same animation style as the Alf cartoons. So yeah, good fit. It'll be a good fit. Um, Pac-Man. They had a Pac-Man series, which Hanna-Barbera did, which is actually really cool. And so yeah, that was the closest thing to have on there. I think they also did Saturday Morning Cavalcade, which was which was a block of some animated. Um, they had Donkey Kong on there. They had um, it was Saturday Morning Arcade Cavalcade, if I'm not mistaken, and they had Donkey Kong on there. The with Mario in there. They also had Frogger. They also had um, Pitfall Harry. They also had Kangaroo, and I think there was one other one as well too. But also, um, since they have Sony on there too, they can also throw in Cubert. Cubert was a thing, and it was a cartoon at that time as well too. So yeah, it so yeah, during that whole block in the 80s on Saturday morning, they had Pac-Man, they had Saturday Morning Arcade Cavalcade, and they had Cubert. So and of course and later on they had um Captain and the Game Master. And so those would be a really cool additions to that. And they can turn it into a um to a thing where they can have like a block of cartoons on there, and it would be awesome. It would literally be awesome. They could throw in the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. They can throw in the and then do the Saturday morning arcade cavalcade, the Saturday arcade cavalcade or whatever. I think that's what it was called. And Cubert and Pac-Man. So yeah, for those 4 shows, they can fill up that block. Oh no, 5. Captain N. So yeah, that would be really cool. That would be really really cool, and I would love to see that happen. And now, the number one show that will make a good addition to MeTv Toons, and this was by far one of my all-time favorite cartoons, and it was my first introduction to Japanese anime. That is, of course, Voltron. I grew up on that show, and if I'm not mistaken, it's 40 years old. The American version that was dubbed into the Japanese anime. And if I think what I shall do is I shall it came out yeah, it came Voltron Defender of the Universe. Um it came out in 1984. So yeah, 40 years old. So yeah, I think that would make a good addition to the to the list. And I pretty much grew up watching, that was my first introduction to Japanese animation. And I loved it. I loved, and later on, after being introduced to Speed Racer and Astro Boy, I started watching Golga 13. I also watched Cowboy Bebop, the original ones. Um, I've also watched Gigantor, which was one of my favorites. And yeah, they had some really cool ones, but the one that really kicked off my love for Japanese animation was, of course, Voltron. And I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved it, and it's one of my favorites. I I I wasn't too keen on the Netflix version that was DreamWorks. Um, it was okay, but going back and watching the old Voltron cartoons, it was awesome. Basically, this is my childhood, because the '80s were nothing but had tons of really cool stuff and everything, and Voltron was one of my personal favorites. And next to Transformers and GoBots and all that other stuff. But yeah, it was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. And I think that they could really pull off they can pull it off and bring that onto the network, and put some more Japanese animation, as I said, and put like a kind of like what Cartoon Network did with Toonami. Um, and if hell, even if they, let's say for example that Toonami, Cartoon Network, um, Cartoon Network, um, no longer exists. Since this is done by Warner Brothers Discovery, I don't see why they can do something with that and put Toonami, put some cartoons out there for the older generation to watch, like with Dragon Ball and Sailor Moon and everything like that, but also throw in some other ones as well too, like Gigantor and Astro Boy. Those will make good fits as well too. And oh yeah, going back to the video game one, I forgot to mention one other thing. Mega Man. That was a good song. That was a good show, and the theme song is catchy. Mega Man, the fighting robot. Oh, and Denver, the Last Dinosaur. That needs to go on there too because Denver's my friend and a whole lot more. The Mask, I mean, not Mask, not the Mask, but Mask. It was these guys. It was a team of people that had. It was this team who had these had these vehicles that changed into stuff. Not robots, but basically, turn into like battle machines and everything like that. It was awesome. Cops was also a really cool one. It was done by the same anime. Pretty much had the same. I think was had the same animation as Alf and everything like that. And the green guy. How's it going there, Ajax? The cartoon, the green guy. Not sure, not sure which one. The green guy. There was. If you thinking about the Hulk, they could probably put that on Disney Plus because they actually own that now. um, unless there's some other one that's like the green guy. But yeah, um, but yeah, they had some some really cool stuff that I grew up watching, and some ones that I've seen that came out in my father's generation. So yeah, a lot of cool show, a lot of cool stuff, and as I said, MeTv Toons is a really cool network, and brought some of my favorites and introduced me to some newer cartoons that I may have never even heard of, and I mean I've heard of them, but I never seen them, like Penelope Pit Stop, um, Space Race, Yogi's Space Race. No, not Yogi's. Yeah, Yogi's Space Race. I think. Yeah, Yogi's Space Race, and that one was actually pretty cool. And that's like the only time where I can see Jabberjaw. So, which they need to put on the channel as well too if they haven't done it already. Shirt Tails would make a nice addition on there as well too. Almost forgot Shirt Tails. That's another Hanna Barbera um, collection. So, yeah. So yeah, if you haven't checked out MeTV Tunes, I strongly recommend that you do because it is really really cool. And for, Neil Saban, really cool guy. Um, thank you for giving us such an amazing channel and everything. And you know what? We got to do this. Neil Saban is going into the Channel X Hall of Fame. So congratulations to him and everything. So yeah, MeTV Tunes. I strongly recommend that you find some way to watch it. It's an awesome channel. You'll love it just as much as I do. So thank you all for tuning in for this special um for this special tribute to MeTV Tunes. A lot of cool shows, as I said, and you can check it out for yourself and everything like that. So you will love it just as much as I do. Definitely worth checking out. Um, it's on the it's on it's on right now on the Friendly app. If you download that, really really cool. Little cheap plug there and everything. I'm not sponsored with them by any way, but yeah, I highly recommend that you check it out for yourself, and definitely worth watching. Definitely, and just go back to the have this really cool nostalgic trip. It's like you'll love it. You'll absolutely love it just as much as I do. So yeah. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight. I had a blast being able to share this nostalgic with you and everything like that. It's kind of like what I do because it's around that time for my birthday and everything like that. So I always feel nostalgic around this time. But yeah, definitely be sure to follow me on Twitter at TomDog247. If you missed any of tonight's show, you can check it out as soon as I turn off the camera. Give this video a thumbs up if you like it. Comment down below. Um, what shows, what cartoons you grew up watching? Um, that's on the that you may have seen on, if you've seen um MeTv Toons. Let us know what you thought about let us know what you thought about it. What's your favorite show to watch on there? And what show would you would like to see, what cartoon would you would like to see on MeTv Toons? Let us know in the comment section down below. And ringy dingy that bell to stay notified of what I'm going to be doing next. And be sure to support small streamers like myself by doing the most important thing that you could do for us small streamers like myself, and we will love you forever. And that is face hug that subscribe button. We will see you. We'll be back here next Thursday with our Tom Dog Days of Summer. Got a little birthday uh, shenanigans going on, and but I'll be back on Saturday to do my SummerSlam review. Gonna have a fun time with that one. Definitely worth checking out on that. So be sure to take a look at that. And then next week will be the Tom Dog will be the start. Oh, the Tom Dog Days of Summer. We're gonna have a blast with that one. So yeah, definitely worth checking out. And you'll be glad you did. So till next time, this is Tom Dog saying take care, so long, peace. Have a good night, everybody. Love you all.